Alright, you two, I'm just waking up. I had a silly dream that I turned into a nightmare inadvertently. And what happened was, in the dream, it was a dream about my family. My mom had moved into a very small place that was almost the size of an efficiency, but it was a 3 bedroom. And I guess I came to visit, but um, my mom came to check on me, and I was on a laptop, and my mom, she was just like, "Are you looking for a job, or are you just sitting and playing on the computer and on the phone all day?" And then my sister came in. My sister was, I guess, in school or something. They were planning on a trip to go to Kentucky, and I kind of found that. And the dreams are really weird about how they reveal things to you. They do it slowly. Like, first, my sister's in the dream. Then after that, she comes into the room. She's dressed in one thing, she's dressed in another. Then she and my mom are talking, and I find out she's going on a trip. And then she's talking about bringing stuff back from the trip, blah blah blah. And in the dream, I feel like me and my sister really are not speaking. But finally, I'm just like, "Well, where are y'all going?" She says, "I'm going to Kentucky." And I was like, "Oh, well, don't come back." But at that time, my heart dropped because one of my exes, she's like, "I've never been there before," and I was like, "Oh, I've been there once." And one of my exes was from there and went to visit his family. Um, the part that got really weird was like I was leaving an apartment building. As I was leaving the apartment building, there was this guy that I recognized from a place I worked at. I think his name was George. He was really tall, Hispanic. He wasn't black Hispanic, but he was clearly Hispanic with like some dark features. Like he could have been like really, really, really light skinned black or something. And when I looked at him, that's who it was from the back. But then I happened to blink and open my eyes again, and instead of it being him, it was a tall, lighter skinned Hispanic guy that was built like him. Then there was a black guy, like a chocolate, dark, crisp black guy, and they were like, if you put the two together, they would have been George. That was creepy. Then as I continued to walk along, um, it was just weird stuff, like really weird. Like as I continued to walk along, this black boy walked past me and he smiled, like this big bright smile. And I didn't respond back because I was like, this dream is really weird, or things are weird, and he could turn out to be some kind of crazy person. So I didn't just do anything. But when I turned around and looked at him after he passed me, it was no longer the black boy dressed in all white. There was this big fat black woman walking up the stairs, putting her groceries away, but she was dressed in all white. I mean, like with a really fat behind. Then I turned around and I turned back again, and there was like this stocky man that went under the stairwell. But when I turned back around, he peeked out from behind the stairwell. It was the same man, but he had a cat head. And then, then as I continued walking, um, I don't know what happened, but it's like just weird little weird stuff like that kept happening. And then the next part of the dream, I was inside, and when I was inside, I just felt something weird, and I was just like, you know what, that's not even scary. I'm not scared. And so I laid down, put the covers up to my chest, and I was just like, oh. But in the dream, it's like my mom was still like a few rooms away or whatever. In the dream, I was like, oh, that doesn't scare me. You know, show me something really scary. I was saying in jest. Next thing you know, it's like my right eye, everything was dark on that side. Like maybe I didn't have an eye there. And the funny thing about it is that I kept walking into, like, there's a refrigerator grate that's sitting on top of a like kind of a table that's made onto a shelf, and I didn't realize it, but I walked inside one day, and and I guess I bumped into it like right here by my eye, but I didn't think nothing of it because it didn't hurt or anything. But then like maybe after a period of time passed by, I forgot about it, and I woke up one day and my eye was hurting. I was like, why is my eye hurting? Like somebody punched me in my eye, and I was like, that's really weird. But then I didn't realize it again until I walked out and came back in maybe another day, and I ran right into that thing into my eye, and it was the same thing. I was like, oh, that's how that happened. And because I didn't feel it at first, I really didn't. And then when I was like, yeah, that's not scary. Then my right eye was just like, it got dark. It just so happened my right eye is the one that got sprayed in a long time ago. It's evened out now. But it got dark, and then all of a sudden I was just like, okay, so it got dark, but then I realized I couldn't move, you know, and so it's like a demon. I couldn't move, and I was laying there, and then I was, trying to fight. I couldn't move or anything, so I started trying to scream. I was like, ah, I was trying to scream so my mom could hear me, but then the reality set in that my mom wasn't here, that it was just me, and nobody could hear me. And finally I broke free and I woke up. And that's kind of how I feel, is that no one can hear me. I feel like I'm on mute. You know what I'm saying? Like in life in general, I'm on mute, which is ironic because Sagittarius is a muted sign. But that's how I feel. I feel like I'm on mute. Like nobody hears me. No matter like what I post, no matter how many websites I have, it's like I'm not heard. Nobody hears me. And I don't know if that scares me or not, but this goes back to the dream again. Like, all those weird things happening, I was saying, oh, that doesn't scare me. Like, I don't think that scares me. And the same thing, it's like my dream going in reverse now, because it got to the point where I was on mute. And then it gets to the point where I'm acknowledging in real life that I'm muted. I'm on mute. No one hears me. If the word irrelevant or non-existent, that's me. And it's like no one hears me, and I'm like, I don't know if that really scares me or not. And then it's like the demon is like, in real life, it's like, oh, you don't know if it scares you? I'll make it scare you. I'll show you that it should. So, and I know that can be a scary thing, because it's like, nobody, honestly, it's like nobody cares. It's scary. It's not scary to me right now, but I'm scared that if I say it's not scary, that it's something that happened to make it scary. And I do understand that it has the proclivity to be scary. And I know in real life, when crazy things have happened, and I was just like, oh, that's not a big deal. It's like God made it a big deal, or the devil. And I think to me, it's all the same. It's two sides of the same coin. So I'm just sharing my dream. And so I guess, I gotta get up and do my thing today. And, part of that's like my mom speaking to me through my dream. She's like, are you looking for a job, or what are you doing? So anyways, y'all, peace. If you have any dreams, let me know. I want to hear about them.